7 different tones. If you look at the column headed without tail, there we've got the word yes as a nucleus and as a one-word utterance, so with no tail, with no pre-head, with no head. Let's go through those now, and you look at the diagram while I say the example. So first of all, with a high fall, yes, yes, yes. You try it. Yes, yes, yes. Now a low fall, yes, yes, yes. Notice that the high fall starts high, the low fall starts not so high. They both go down to the bottom. Yes, yes. Let's get the difference. High fall, yes, yes. Low fall, yes, yes. And then we have the rise fall. This is a little bit more difficult. This is yes, yes. It starts in the middle, goes up and down. Yes, 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 yes. Notice that the loudest part is at the beginning. If I say yes, that's a high fall. I might start a bit before the top and lead up to the top. Yes, that's a high fall. But if I start loud in the middle, yes, then go up and down, that's a rise fall. So it's to do with the dynamics of this, as well as with the actual shape. This is one of the reasons that if you just feed this into a machine that gives you a tracing of the fundamental frequency, you may be a bit puzzled by what comes out, because it doesn't necessarily correlate the loudness, the intensity, in the way that the human ear does. With the human ear, we can see immediately there's a difference between yes and yes. On the pattern of the fundamental tracing, they may be very similar. Now, tomorrow, Dr. Huckvale will be demonstrating to you equipment of precisely that kind. You will see that the tracings that you get really don't look quite like the ones I'm now putting in front of you. And the reason is that what I'm showing you now is a schematic representation which corresponds to human perception. What the machine observes is a physical reality. When we're dealing with language, unfortunately, we're concerned not only with physical reality, but with mental reality. And intonation is one of the areas where there is something of a mismatch between physical reality and mental reality. And that is why, when I get beginning master students who come along and want to work on English intonation, they say, give me a machine, that'll give me all the facts. I have to tell them, no, life is more complicated than that. Unfortunately, you have to be sure that you're observing the linguistic items that you're interested in, and you can't get this information just from a machine. Yeah, the machine is useful, the machine helps you. It's important to know what the difference is anyhow between what the human brain thinks is happening and what the machine tells you. Right, we've done the falling tones. Now we come to the mid-level tone, middle of the back page, which is yes, 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 doesn't go up, doesn't go down, stays on the same pitch. Yes, yes,
yes, yes.
Not very common, but it is one that we sometimes use. Now we come to the rises, 3 kinds of rise. The high rise, which really can start anywhere but ends pretty high. Let's take this one here that starts in the middle and goes high. Yes, 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 yes. And then the low rise, which starts at the bottom, goes to the middle. Yes, 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 yes. Do them again, the high rise. Yes, yes. And the low rise. Yes, yes. Okay. And lastly, the fall rise starts in the middle, goes down, and comes up again. Yes. 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 Yes, typically it doesn't come up quite as far as it started. Yes. Okay, yes.